It's time for your daily dose of MLB picks with Professor MJ. Thank you so much for watching this video. Alright, so let's get started right away by recapping yesterday's action. So I gave you 15 picks in the 15 games that took place in Major League Baseball. And ultimately, we finished with an 8-6-1 record. If you would have placed a $100 bet on each one, you would have ended the day with a net profit of $82. Now we literally destroyed the bookies with the premium picks that are being shared at mgpicks.com. Again, we're talking about the picks that I love the most across all sports. And we finished with a perfect 7-0 record. As you can see, 2 or 3 of the baseball picks were shared as free plays to you, and I also added under in the first 5 innings of the Nationals and Phillies game. In the National Hockey League, we took the Wild plus 1.5 against the Golden Knights. They lost by a 1-goal margin in overtime, so this was a winner. And in the NBA, we took the Milwaukee Bucks plus 8.5 at the Pacers. They lost by a 1-point margin, so it was a win. And we also took Jaylen Brown from the Celtics to record under 6.5 rebounds. And now, what about the famous lobster bet? Did we keep our perfect record? We did. The lobster bet of the day. So this is the very best bet of the day across all sports. Was under 4.5 in the first 5 innings of the Cubs-Pirates game. Now I threw a curveball to you because this was one of the free plays. It's the first time that the lobster bet was given away for free. Alright, so we now own a perfect 7-0 record, and it is now time to sign up to receive them for the month of May. I will get back to that towards the end of the video, but you can find the links below in the comments section and also in the description of this video to sign up for the very best value wager each day. We currently own a perfect 7-0 record. Alright, let's move on to the second portion of this video. Let me provide 8 picks for today's slate of baseball games. Alright, so first I'm going to take the Cardinals to win outright at Cincinnati at plus 130 odds, which is the same as 2.30 in decimal. Yesterday I picked over 9.5 for this matchup. The game was postponed, and for a few reasons, I don't like the over anymore so much. I prefer to grab the road underdog. Now, it also happens that the Cardinals fit under a betting system called the cold team versus hot team matchup. Its rules are quite simple. Bet the road team if they lost at least 1 game in a row, and if they are facing a home club that has won at least 4 straight games. Now, in the current case, the Cards are undergoing a 2-game losing slide, whereas Cincinnati is enjoying a nice 5-game winning streak. So that fits under those rules. Now, this is only a lean. I'm not a big fan of Miles Mikolas, as I said in yesterday's video. He did toss 6 scoreless innings at Atlanta in his last outing, but I'm not buying it. Still, I think the offense can get the job done against Brady Singer, who will start for the Reds. To me, he has overperformed thus far this season, and he is due for some regression. He currently owns a whip stat of 1.13, whereas in the prior 2 years, it stood at 1.27 and 1.45. So it is likely to go up as the season progresses. So I'm going to take a shot on the Cardinals to win outright in Cincinnati. By the way, I'm talking about game 1 of the doubleheader, just to make it clear. Up next, I do have a pick to share in the Tigers-Houston game, and I am betting the Astros moneyline. If you watched yesterday's video, I took Houston again to win straight up, so I am doubling down today. The Astros are really tough to beat at home. They currently own an 11-6 record in their stadium, while the Tigers simply don't look the same as the road team, where they own a 5-9 record compared to a stellar 13-3 record at Comerica Park. We do have an intriguing pitching duel in this case. The Tigers are sending the 22-year-old guy named Jackson Jobe, who currently owns an impressive 2.70 ERA. But don't get misled by those numbers. He has a poor strikeout to walks ratio. In 20 innings pitched, he has only 14 punch-outs versus 10 walks, which is worrisome. Meanwhile, AJ Bloba will make his MLB debut for the Astros. He has a pretty good ERA below 4 in AAA, both last year and this season. I know this is a pretty tough draw for his first start, but I'm still going to side with Houston to extend Detroit's losing skid to 3 games. So that's my second pick, the Astros moneyline. Up next, I'm going to discuss the Marlins versus Dodgers game, where this time, my favorite bet goes to the Marlins team total to go over 3.5. As you can see, the best available odds about an hour ago were plus 105 with Bet Victor. You could also grab plus 100 odds with Bet 99 and Stake. If you're more comfortable with decimal odds, we're talking about 2.05 or 2.0. But you may have to settle for even weaker odds depending on your own sportsbook. Now the Marlins, they rank in the middle of the pack in terms of runs scored this season, but they will try to take advantage of Tony Gonsolin's first MLB appearance since August 18, 2023. In that game, he was facing those same Marlins. Now, he was later diagnosed with an elbow injury that led to Tommy John surgery. Now, the Dodgers just won with a bullpen game, and now they might need their bullpen again because Gonsolin is unlikely to pitch very deep. Now, Gonsolin has 2 career starts against Miami, and in those games, he has obtained a very poor 10.38 ERA. So, for all of those reasons, I like the Marlins to score at least 4 runs in LA today. My next pick concerns the Angels versus Mariners game. In this case, I'm opting for a player prop bet. More precisely, the Angels starter Tyler Anderson to record over 4.5 strikeouts. In other words, I am expecting him to get at least 5 punch-outs. Alright, the best line right now is minus 120. You can see on your screen a screenshot taken from Betway. You can also grab minus 125 odds with Hard Rock or William Hill, Canada. Alright, in this case, why do I like this play? First of all, Tyler Anderson was awful in 2023, as shown by his 5.43 ERA. He did bounce back with a pretty decent season in 2024. He got a 3.81 ERA along with a 1.29 whip stat, which is pretty much in line with the league average. Now at 35 years old, he is on the up and up, as shown by his solid 2.60 ERA and the perfect 2-0 record so far in the 2025 campaign. Here is the number of strikeouts that he has recorded this season: 4, 5, 6, 6, and 1. So in his last start, he only got 1 strikeout, even though he did obtain many whiffs. I think he got 14 or 15. So to me, that's not necessarily a huge source of concern. Now he will be playing at the pitcher-friendly T-Mobile Park, and he's facing a team that has struck out the 7th most times in Major League Baseball this season. So I think he has a good shot of racking up at least 5 strikeouts in today's game. So that is my 4th free play of the day in MLB. Up next, I would like to discuss a National League West Division showdown between the Giants and the Padres. And this time, I'm going to make use of a betting system that is rated 4 stars out of 5 because it has done quite well in recent years. It's called the Snap Losing Streak number 2. Let's take a look at the rules. It basically says to bet against the home team if they meet the following 3 criteria. Number 1, the home team won its previous game after losing at least 4 in a row. They must also be facing the same opponent as yesterday, and their money line today must be better than minus 200. So basically, we don't want the home team to be a huge favorite. Now, does that fit with today's home club, the Padres? Well, they did drop 4 games in a row before beating the Giants 7-4 last night. Now, obviously, they are facing the same opponent again, and San Diego's money line is much better than minus 200, which is, by the way, the same as 1.5 in decimal odds. So their money line is greater than 1.50. So by virtue of the Snap Losing Streak number 2 betting strategy, we must fade the Padres, which explains my next pick, my 5th pick. I'm going with a road underdog, the Giants, to defeat the Padres. I know it's not going to be easy defeating starter Michael King, but I'm going to rely on my 4-star system, and I'll take a shot on the Giants to pull off the upset here. Up next, my 6th pick is going to use the blowout number 1 betting strategy, whose rules are quite simple and yet very effective. Bet any team that won its previous contest by a margin of at least 8 runs if they are facing the same opponent. So by following those rules, we're taking the Yankees to beat the Orioles once more. Well, the Bronx Bombers have scored a whopping 34 runs across their past 4 contests. So that's an average of 8.5 runs scored per game. Now, the Orioles may be the most disappointing team in the majors this season. They hold an 11-18 record, which is well below expectations. Now, New York easily qualifies under the blowout number 1 system because yesterday they demolished Baltimore by a 15-3 score. I do have a source of concern about this game, and his name is Carlos Carrasco. As you all know, I value the whip statistic a lot. The league average is 1.30, and he has exceeded that figure in 6 of the past 7 seasons, so he's clearly a below-average pitcher. His best days are behind him. He is hanging in there to build up his retirement fund for sure. But he has fared better lately. If you take a look at his past 3 outings, he has allowed 5 earned runs in 14 innings. So if you do the math, that translates into a 3.21 ERA. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. Now his counterpart, Cade Povich, is not any better. He has an amazingly high 1.72 whip stat this season, which is abysmal. Now, that is mainly due to the fact that he has squandered 34 hits in 25 innings. So in short, both hurlers are pretty bad. So it might come down to which team is going to score the most runs, and obviously the Yankees are in a better position because their offense is much stronger. So I am surprised by this line. As you can see on your screen, The best odds I saw about an hour ago were minus 102 with Bookmaker, which is the same as 1.98 in decimal. So this particular sports book is viewing Baltimore as a slight favorite, which surprises me. Maybe you will have to settle for a line of minus 110. So again, it really depends on your personal bookies, the accounts where you hold accounts. So to me, the Yankees are a good value wager here, and that's pick number 6. Now we have 2 more to go. The next one concerns another American League East Division battle featuring the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. And in that game, I like over 5 runs to be scored in the first half of this matchup. All right, this time I expect a shaky start by Lucas Giolito. He will make his first start in Major League Baseball since 2023, just like Tony Gonsolin that we talked about earlier. He sustained several injuries, and now he has made 5 rehab appearances in the minors, turning in a poor 5.19 ERA and an abysmal 1.79 whip stat between AA and AAA. So it does not bode well for today's matchup. Well, even his past 2 years in the majors did not go very well. If you take a look at his ERA from his last 2 seasons in the big leagues, he presented an ERA of 4.90 and 4.88 respectively. Now, if you take a look at his career ERA against the Toronto Blue Jays, Giolito owns a bad 5.40 ERA in 8 starts. So he does not like facing this foe. Toronto is likely to send out a parade of relievers. Now, the bullpen needed to pitch 6 frames after Bowden Francis got hammered by the Red Sox yesterday. So for Toronto, it does not look so good either. So that's why I expect a lot of fireworks in the early going. And that's why my 7th pick goes to the over in the first 5 innings of this match. Alright, it's time to go with an 8th pick. And this team also qualifies under the blowout #1 betting angle that we discussed earlier. So maybe you can guess what the next pick is. That's right, I'm going with the Rangers to win straight up at home against the A's. Texas yesterday defeated the A's 15-2 against those same A's. So that fits the criteria for betting. They did win yesterday by a margin of at least 8 runs, and they are facing the same opponent again. Now, the A's fans are hopeful with Luis Severino starting. He's making a good impression with his new organization via a pretty solid 3.49 ERA. But his counterpart, Nathan Eovaldi, is hurling better now than any other time of his career. So in 2025, he has posted a rock-solid 2.21 ERA and a stunning 0.74 whip stat. So just like fine wine, the older he gets, the better he becomes. His ERA has been below 3.90 in each of the prior 6 seasons. I also like the fact that the Rangers are pretty tough to beat at home. They currently hold an 11-4 record in their stadium. And, personally, this may be just a gut feeling, but I believe the A's will go through a slump. They won 5 of 6 games before getting smashed yesterday. I think that will shake their confidence, and the A's will crash down in the upcoming days. So that's why my 8th pick goes to the Rangers to win straight up. Alright, so the clock is ticking to sign up for the famous and money-making LOBSTER bets. I seriously believe this is the best sports betting product that is offered on the market right now. It doesn't get any better than this. I'm offering you the best wager out of all the sports, well, basically among the NHL, the NBA, and the Major League Baseball. Well, we own a 7-0 record right now. Those picks are provided by the holder of a PhD in statistics that has been crushing online bookies since 1999. As shown in the media, I've amassed more than $1 million with my sports bets since 1999. My story generated a lot of buzz when I quit my full-time job as a university statistics teacher in 2022 to devote my entire time to sports betting. So I do a lot of research, and that's how I come up with solid picks. Of course, my statistics background helps a lot. So this is the best product you can get on the market if you want to grow your bankroll. So I said last week that in the month of April, the price would be lower. It would never get as low as this ever again. So last week, it cost $5 per play. So it was around $35 for a week. Now this time it's going to be $7 per pick. So if you want the picks for the first 7 days in May, so from May 1st to May 7th, the cost is $7 per play. If you want to sign up for a monthly plan, so for the entire month of May, you will keep the $5 a piece price. Now all the links are below in the video's comments and in the description. So take advantage of the very best sports betting service that you can get on the market. Let's really boost your bankroll together. Again, I want to issue a warning. If for some reason you don't have access to player proposition bets, then you may not want to sign up for this service, because as I have often said, player prop bets are the easiest way to beat bookies by far. This is where the lines are more soft, they are more vulnerable, and by the way, that's why they limit your bets to a few $100s, whereas if you want to bet on sides and totals, they will gladly accept your $10,000 bet. So this is the way to go. Now, as you can see, sometimes I do provide picks on sides and totals with my LOBSTER bet. Like yesterday, I really love the under in the first half of the Cubs-Pirates game, but most of the time it will be a player prop bet. Now, there are many online bookies that are offshore, that are pretty reliable, where you can sign up. I don't want to name specific sports books because I was told not to promote any specific sports books to avoid getting in trouble. Alright, so this is your last chance to sign up for those picks. Tomorrow I won't be making a MLB video, as I often take a break on Thursdays so that I can spend more time trying to grow the Professor MJ brand. So I work on different projects, shooting evergreen videos. So I'm always striving to improve the MJ brand. Alright, so you can comment below your best bet of the day. It's always fun to read you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate a lot, and I'll see you again in 2 days from now, so on Friday. Bye, my friends.